That's just my normal pace.
Hello, friends. We're
Okay.
back for another episode of the Evolving Adventure podcast. It's Greg V. I'm outside in the sun looking for peacocks, and Heidi is here inside hiding from the rain. Hello, Heidi Garner. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm hoping to get my energy back from canyons that I did last week
Oh,
or a week and a day
we can
ago.
go. Yeah.
It's a
Eh,
blur.
Yeah. How was that whole experience for you?
So I did canyons in 2018. It was my first 100K and I loved it. I was in really good shape and I was on top of the world. It was the old course where it's out and back from Forest Hill, all on the Western States course. And it was very predictable. I'm very familiar with it. So I loved it and I knew I would go back. And then it's evolved and it's changed. The majority of it is still on the Western States course, but it got scary to me. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. That looks hard, but I've got to do it. So it took me 8 years, about 8 years to get back. And I finished, which was good. It was no pressure because I already had my state's qualifier from Black Canyon. And I think that lots of ultra runners have this experience. Like I swore off long runs when I was out there. I will never do it again. I only like Black Canyon. I don't care if I ever get into states. Like that's like everything that's going through my head. And now a week later, and this has been my hardest recovery from 100K, just like super low energy. Um, I'm considering going back next year. So it's just surreal. Like I'm like, I don't like that, but I do. Like it's so magical. Like I hate running when I should be sleeping, but running at night's my favorite part of ultra running. It's a huge conundrum, but it was great.
Yeah. Running at night is your favorite part. What makes it your favorite part? That you're the first person in a long time I've heard say that.
I think it's not a normal thing that we get to do all the time. It's my biggest struggle, like running at sleeping time, because I really like my favorite things are running and sleeping, eating and organizing things. Like that's like it. And so it's like why would I love it so much? But like there's something magical about it. There's this part on the Black Canyon course where it looks like you're in this forest of saguaro and I'm only there at nighttime and it's beautiful. And I'm like, I got to see this in the daylight. Like, it's got to be amazing. No, it's only great at night. Like, I don't know why it's so much better at night. Like, you're at a race. And so hopefully the mountain lions won't come out because they're just, scared of all the other people. Um, it's, I don't know. I guess it's just it is I think there's just this magic about running through the night. It's not something that we do normally in our training. I try to throw at least one night run into at least 100-mile trainings, but I don't know. I just think about how everything's just I don't know. Maybe it's like dreamlike because I should be dreaming. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hallucinating, as it were, perhaps.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've hallucinated a little bit at runs, but it's better. It's less scary. I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, can anybody explain why we do this at all? Like it's the dumbest hobby. But I'm like, why do we keep putting ourselves through it? Why do we love it? But
Yeah. Yeah.
so
For me, the night is fun. Quiet. I like the quiet times and the times when
yeah.
no one else is around. Just thinking, like, for me last night, hey, the stars were up there, the moon was out. I got to see all those things. I don't always get to see that because I'm sleeping. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
novelty each time I'm out in the dark. So I think you just add something to anything when there are saguaros around. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't a natural thing I grew up with. So, hey, a massive cactus right here. This is amazing.
Yeah. It's so great. And I mean, and at canyons, I didn't have that. It's a completely different terrain. Like my heart is with desert ultras. Like I'm kind of from Arizona. My first ultra was Santan's. No, it wasn't. It was McDowell Mountain Frenzy. So out there. And I really love that. Canyons is completely different. Like it's mountains, it's trees. Still super, super magical. And I'm not one of those tough people who chases the hard. Like I wouldn't say I'm like that. Like I don't put a lot of effort into it. Like I just want to finish. I'm just like barely surviving. So I wouldn't say like, oh, I love running at night because I'm facing something that's hard for me. No, like I hate that crap. But I don't but at the same time, it's like It's the most magical part of the run. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What got you into ultras?
um, I'm gonna say an addictive personality. I don't
Okay.
I don't know.
Valid.
Um, I never did sports as a kid, like, very much at all. I was super artsy fartsy, like, I dabbled in a few little things, but it was never my jam. My younger siblings were soccer players, and there's a 5-year gap, so a lot of the stuff when they were doing things, I was out of the house, but I was not a sports kid at all. And my friend in college, she took a PE class, which I think was weird. I didn't know there was such a thing, but she had to run by the end of the class 4 miles. So I went to the track with her in some cotton sweats and some running shoes that I picked up someplace, and I realized I loved it, like just on a track. So I just kind of started from there, and I finished up school in Flagstaff, not a runner, but out there on those trails, and I grew to love trail running because that's where you ran. But for the first, I don't know, 15, I don't know how many years, big part of my running career was road running. So I was a road runner, like a marathoner. I lost track of how many marathons I did, but I kind of went out with a bang and I ran Boston in 2015, knowing that I was done with the road and I wanted to do ultras, but not long ultras, like maybe just a 50K and a 50 miler. I wasn't going to do anything
Of
else. Like I was
course
going to
not.
keep it real, keep it simple. And so, um, I'm going to say my husband and I, like he would never identify as a runner. He had done some marathons with me, but when we switched to trail and I converted him with me, like he became, it was like I was like, he's a born again runner. Like it was like he was out proselyting, trying to convert people to trail running as well. Like we would tell them, like, you need to come over here, you need to come to our side. And so he loves it as well. And it's just like the community is so wonderful, but the trails is just is I don't want to knock road running, but it's just where my heart is. I don't regret spending over a decade as a road runner, but this is the best.
Yeah.
So,
Trail people tend to be more fun, I will add. Not that
it
road
is.
people are fun, but trail people tend to be
Yeah.
fun and more embracing of their quirkiness and out there'ness.
I I remember, like, I had done a Ragnar as a super runner, like, accidentally because I was added to a group that lost a runner, and then they lost more runners, and I was like, "Do you mind if I just do both of those people's legs?" And the group was like, "Yeah, nobody minds if you take both of those legs." Like, they're like, "You sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd like to do that." And I saw, like, people, I think they were probably drinking that's Fireball. And I, as a serious road runner, I was like, "This is so disrespectful." Like, why are they partying? This is serious stuff. Like I was like appalled or whatever. And now, like, I don't drink at all, but it's the most hilarious part to me. Like at TRT, they're like at one of the first aid stations, Tahoe Rim Trail, um, there's like a bar and they like have the water for you and they have like hard liquor. Anyways, it's hilarious to me. Like, and we once did an aid station um, at a race where people were asking for the fireball. And I guess, like in previous years, the old crew captain had fireball there. And nobody knew that the aid station captain was like 2 decades sober and then a bunch of like non drinkers there. I would have, if I knew, I would have got it for them. But I was like, I think this is so funny. So, I mean, I love the party aspect of it. I don't party that way. I just eat a lot of candy. But I'm kind of nervous. Like somebody said in Europe, they're more serious. Like at UTMB. I don't
Yeah, I having never been to UTMB or Europe, well, I got yelled at in the Frankfurt airport for 12 hours. That was my experience in Europe, but it does seem like that from speaking with close friends, non-elite people that just go, like, it's a very different experience over there, and, yeah, I also say that when I ran Black Canyon and finished it, at the time, it was the longest thing ever. I drank a beer at an aid station, and then I carried a beer in my pack for the next 20 miles until I realized this is dumb. I should just put it in my drop bag. But I did that.
Yeah, well, I've done it. I've lived with full cans of soda, because I'm not gonna litter either.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I mean, I love that aspect of it. I love, and then we have little kids, and trail racing is so conducive for families as well. Like my kids are playing in the dirt, like just when they were little, just having, it was so laid back. Like we would drag them to Marathon St. George was awesome because they just had all this food, and we just, it was okay. You just hand it over to your kids. Like, here's some bread, here's some popsicles or whatever. And that race worked really well, but it was always chaotic. Um, and I remember my brother-in-law did Big Sur, and I was like, "Find your uncle that beer tent right now. He has a beer ticket." Like my kids knew what to do at the end of the race or whatever, but like trail running is just so much more laid back. Like once my son had said to us, and they don't come with me as much anymore, like they're doing their own things and stuff. Hopefully we'll get them into this sport because it's such a embracive, accepting community, like, it's beyond just exercising, but, we were doing yard work, and I think we'd probably gotten back from a run as well, but my son was, like, looking at us, and he's like, "You guys stink." And he's like, "You guys smell like the finishers, like, the tents at the finish line of Western states. Like, that's how bad you smell." And I was like, "What a privilege to know that smell." Like, my kids are having these great experiences that they know what it smells like at the finish of Western states. Like that community where you get to go there and just be around all these amazing people.
Yeah.
That's why I like trail running.
Yeah, I know. And how cool is that for your kids to like for you to experience that, but also the kids to grow up with that? It's not abnormal. It's
Yeah.
not out there like, yeah, you're going to go pee on a tree over there. Like, that's just a normal thing to do. It's not
It's a,
like all
it's a
those
life skill.
anxieties. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Don't sit on the wrong tree or by the cactus or anything else. But
Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. Like my older son, he snowboards. He did baseball and stopped at COVID, but he's always snowboarded and skated, and he really loves being outdoors. And even just hiking, like, I'd love to do that with my kids, but, like, long crap, and we wanted him to do Mount Timp with us in Timpanogos in Utah, and he said, "No," like, but he went and did it with his friends in Converse and a cotton hoodie in a rainstorm or whatever, but, we're talking about doing Whitney or something, but all of this, like, long, hard outdoor stuff, like, I don't know. I hope that they love it. I hope they wanna do it with us.
yeah, it's inspiring. It's inspiring. And I know most people I don't know. I was maybe most I know you more for your artwork and seeing you at tents, and I was like, "Oh, Heidi also runs and has done all these cool races." It was just like my brain didn't compute. Here's all your cool hats and gaiters, and damn it, I have my black. I saved. I've never worn the Black Canyon gaiter from the year that I ran it. So, like, this is such a cool piece of art. Eventually, it will go up with the buckle that I got somewhere. But I was like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So how did your art develop, and then how did you get it tied into running and anywhere else?
So when I was little, I always loved art, and I would say, like, I don't think I'm an amazing artist. Like I'm like good enough. I'm actually like I never imagined people would have my art. And now like thousands and thousands of people have my art in various forms, and they really love it. Like my friend just sent me a picture that her sister took at a kiosk at the airport with hats and stuff. And she's like, "Your friend's stuff is better than this." And it was really good stuff. Like it was good stuff at the airport. It was really cool. And that's a whole nother story, getting into different venues and different areas to like sell my merch. Like my heart is with trail runners. I love that trail runners wear it because that's so important to me. But so I've always loved art, and I actually went to school to become an art teacher. And so that's what my degree is in. I have a degree in art education from NAU in Flagstaff, and I taught art for a few years. And I really, a big part of our life for my husband and I was to have kids. And so once we had a few kids, I stopped working, and we have 4 kids. And so if you do the math or whatever, daycare and a teacher's salary, like I just break even. And I knew I wanted to stay home with them. So I stayed home with them, but I volunteered all the time. Like I taught free art classes for little kids at my house. I did art programs at the school. Like I ran the ceramics program at our elementary school. Like always involving art, but not doing my own stuff at all. And so I kind of lost that part of my identity while always being a runner. And those were two things for me. And like a mediocre runner, but still an athlete, like still getting it done. And so one day, and I say that my business was an accidental business. Like one day, I have them on right now. I always wear Vans,
Yep.
and I'd always get like the before I'd always get like the clearance ones with some funky design. And we went to a Vans outlet. Like that's what you do when you have four kids and one income. Clearance everything. So we're at the Vans outlet, and there was nothing crazy, and they had like some white ones that were on sale. And I bought a few pair, and I said, I'm gonna draw on these. And so I drew on them and I posted them on social media because I need affirmation like a teenage girl. And I needed people to say I was cool. And somebody said, can you make some for me? I want to buy them. So it started out with me just painting on some Vans shoes. And I was doing all these custom Vans for people. And I wasn't charging enough. I couldn't keep up with it. And buying like exact size shoes was expensive because I wasn't a wholesaler for them. And so I said, well, why don't I just paint on trucker hats? And so I started doing trucker hats, and the pandemic hit. And it kind of was like the pandemic was a bittersweet time because life slowed down, but I was also highly anxious. But I was able to have this creative outlet. And thank goodness there was nothing going on because I was booked all through Christmas, like painting custom hats for people. And it was like pretty like general things. Like this guy really liked Hawaii. Somebody wanted like something from a trip that they'd gone on. And in the back of my mind, when I was doing shoes, mostly I was like, it would be really cool to do a trail running theme one. And somebody commissioned me to do some shoes with No Hands Bridge, which is at the end of Western States. And I think it's the worst drawing I've done of No Hands Bridge ever. Like we live in this area, so I've run on it a lot. I'm actually kind of embarrassed, but they do have the first one. And then slowly I other people asked me to. They're like, I did states. Can you do a hat for me with No Hands Bridge on it? And so I started doing the trail running art. And it got unsustainable to do it hand painting, and it's really expensive for people to buy them. So I had BOCO, they have a custom program. Like lots of people get BOCO hats for their races and everything. And I had them print my artwork on a
Yep.
BOCO hat.
Wearing a Boko hat right now. Yeah.
And trail runners like those hats and everything. And so that's how I started. And my first two hats, one of them was a desert scene, just a generic desert scene, and one of them was No Hands Bridge. Um, and then I was like, maybe we could get these in running stores. And so I put them in my local Fleet Feet. And the manager there helped me get into a few other stores. And then I started reaching out to races to see how that would work. And so it just kind of snowballed from there. I I self-branding my hats now. Like I do have leftover stock from BOCO, but now it's just Heidi Garner Studio. I'm working independently with a factory. We're tweaking some stuff with the structure of the hats and everything. I do some quality control and stuff. And so that's something I never wanted to do. I just want to paint pictures. But so I don't know. That was the progression.
Yeah.
I think runners love knowing that I run, like how you didn't realize that I ran as well. I thanked a guy for supporting my business when I was at Rio de Lago 100 miler. And he was so stoked to find out that I had the same hobby as him. And so I think people love that connection. So that's how it snowballed. And here I am.
Yeah, here you are. You're still running. And yeah, for me, it's just neat to hear that, hey, I don't know that it changes some. It definitely gives a greater focus for me personally to like want to support you, knowing you also do it. Not that it would be different because I have lots of friends that are artists. And I mean, the stuff that was wearing before I changed today was another friend who's an artist, but it does, and that I've seen you at races and I've seen your tent and I've seen that again, personally, it gives me more impetus to go and buy something from you because, yeah, like that Black Canyon buff is never going to get worn. It will be framed because it's beautiful. It's a little different than, oh, hey, someone just a graphic designer somewhere put the Cummins logo on something. Okay, whatever. I don't care. But hey, you did this. This is your time. You are a parent. It feels different. You're a real person that I've met doing it than, hey, it's a big brand doing it.
Yeah. And I think that that's also like my pitch whenever I get around to like get the boldness to like pitch to companies, because I do want to do collaborations with more groups and stuff, is you need to understand like how runners, it really resonates with runners to know that this isn't just a cool looking piece, like this is a runner artist who did this.
Hmm.
And I think people really they it just gives them that special connection.
Yeah. How does it look like? What is your process for if you're working with a race? Like, having absolutely no idea here, but to connect with a race and do some stuff. Black Canyon's the one that I know where I first saw you, but I know there's other races, there's other things happening, there's other places. What does that process involve?
I'm sure that there's a very professional process that like graphic designers and professional artists do. And I make it very clear that like somebody asked me to do some branding for them. And I was like, I'm not a graphic designer. Like I'm gonna do something for you, but you're not gonna get like I think they get like a branding packet or whatever. And I'm like, it's really not my jam. But if you want this, like I'll give it a shot. So it's something like I do know my limitations and I'm very honest with people. But for Black Canyon, and this never happens, but I'm never going to say never because it's continued to happen very slowly. Jubilee actually reached out to me to be a guest vendor at Javelina, and Javelina um, is Aravaipa, and they have Aravaipa artworks, and they have really good art and really good logo designs, and they have really great graphic designers. And that was Aravaipa was a company, even though I love racing with Aravaipa, like I never really reached out to them because I had another race company say, yeah, we don't, in a nicer way, sort of, we don't want you here. We already have hats with our logo on it, and you're going to compete with us. And so I was like, Aravaipa has awesome stuff. They don't need me there. Like, I don't even know, would people buy my stuff if they have all their cool stuff? So I never even asked them for anything. But Jubilee reached out for me to be a guest vendor at Javelina, I think in 22, and then said, "Would you do a neck gaiter design for Black Canyon?" And I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool if that happened more often." And so I did the 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 design, and I did it based on the course, and it needed to have a lot of rocks in it because there's so many rocks on the course, and the Black Canyon sign, and I totally forgot to put my name or my logo on it anywhere. Which is fine. Like I do that a lot actually. I don't know. But another artist did it the next year. And she was so smart because hers, and Abigail West is the artist who did it the next year. Do you know her?
I helped her set up her tent at the
Okay.
vending thing. Don't
Okay.
know her personally, but like I know who she is. She does different style, but incredible art as
Yeah.
well. And I do
Beautiful
follow her.
work.
But yeah, other
Yeah.
than like, hey, you look like you could need a hand. I can help
Yeah.
you. That
So
that's
she
the
did She did. Anyway, she did great work, and her logo's on it. And I'm like, oh, she's a smart cookie. So anyway, so mine doesn't have any identifier on it, but sorry about that. Um, so she asked me to do that, and that was kind of got the ball rolling with stuff. And actually, Abigail reached out to me after that because she is a runner artist as well and wanted to figure out how to get in with the running community as well. So that's nice to have other artists help each other out. I think that that's a really good thing to
yeah.
do. I think I don't know, just always helping out other people.
That's
So collaborations and like commissions intimidate me a little bit because I want to make sure I have it right. Um, Canyons, which is in our area, and it's a UTMB event, and working events sometimes is expensive. But I did reach out to Chaz, who's the race director for that, about how that would work. And Abby and Chaz chatted with me a bit and got me connected. And I just wanted to vend there. And that was another situation where they asked me to do finisher posters. So last year I did a finisher poster for the 100-mile finishers. It was really cool because they wanted to use existing artwork. And that was like so easy because I wasn't like overwhelmed with like, is this right? Is this exactly what you want? And then they asked me again to do it this year for the 100K finishers, which was really cool because it was the race I ran. And And people really liked it. Somebody mentioned a lot of the UTMB races gift posters to the runners. And it was really cool that it was a local artist and somebody who ran on those trails and did what they did. And then to be out there running with people who had bought from me the previous day, who I'd met on the trail, was really exciting as well. Um, so sometimes it looks like that. Right now, I'm doing a big project that they finally, I think, hoped we finalized the design, and I'm going to send them the higher resolution file. But this process, and I'll probably post about it later this summer, has evolved, and it's lots of revisions, lots of revisions, lots of revisions, and lots of revisions. And it was very overwhelming because it's a project with a collaborating with a big brand that will hopefully boost my career, and something that I've dreamed about. Like, more important than the check that I'm getting is just the opportunity. And that was like, it was work, and it should be. And so we've come up with something really, really cool. And so sometimes it's really easy that they're like, hey, can we just buy the rights to a painting you did before? And sometimes it's like, can you change everything that you just sent us? And so it's a process, but
Yeah,
it's
it's a
fun.
process. Yeah. What does your design process look like? And is it different knowing, hey, I am collaborating with Jubilee for this project for Aravaipa, or I am collaborating with UTMB versus, hey, I'm just drawn to have this desert scene or this mountain scene behind me?
I guess, I mean, for even for the last thing for Jubilee, I did several revisions and stuff. Um, I don't know. Like I said, it's just less stressful when I can just come up with something. I think that there's a lot of communication. Like, is there something specific that you want in this? If it's, I really like if it's an event, I really like to have run it first. And I realized at a race, because I will write off my race entries, and I'm like, is that tax fraud? Like, I'm like always worried about like being honest and robbing our government. Anyways, but like I realized, so I had done a painting for somebody years ago of Black Rock in Hawaii, and it's where these people jump off the rock. And I'd never been to Hawaii or whatever. And it was like I was getting paid like a few $100 for these shoes or whatever. So I wasn't going to fly to Hawaii so I could look at Black Rock. Anyway, so I painted it from pictures, and I went there and I was like, oh crap, I could have done this so much better. Like, there's something about seeing things in real life. So I do collect pictures. I don't do, I think I'm too spazzy. I don't do a lot of like open air painting where you just paint on the spot. Like, I have to be moving. And so I do collect lots of photographs. And then when I do reference pictures online, I try to make sure that they have like an open, you they're not copyrighted, I guess. I don't know. So I do use pictures for reference. I do like to be there because when you can feel something, it makes the painting much, much better. So I do I don't know. I mean, Black Canyon was easy because I knew it. Like, I knew it, I felt it. And same with canyons. Like the painting they picked this year is Forest Hill Bridge, which you can see from the course. And my running group was actually manning an aid station right there. So it was like super special that that was what they chose. So I don't know. I guess it's like a bittersweet thing. Like, I love it when I'm commissioned to do something, but it's very overwhelming. It's very intimidating. But yeah, but lots of like reference photos.
Mhm.
I'm actually working on something right now. So I paint, I draw it in pencil, I paint it, and then I take it into my iPad and I'll do edits on it. And I'm trying to do more digital stuff on Procreate. Like, it's kudos to all those digital artists or whatever, but I'm more analog. But I love being able to do edits online. So I don't know if that's the right answer.
Yeah. I, it's the
That's
answer.
my
It's the answer that works for you.
It's my
And
hot mess process, and I'm sure,
yeah,
like, in 5 years, it's gonna look totally different.
yeah, yeah. And with all these things happening, how do you structure out your year? Because, like, to me, it's really cool that you are a runner, your hobby, or that's your hobby. your business to some degree supports runners as well as other people in different places where your art's available. And then what's it like to combine them and be like, oh, I'm working on such and such project for canyons. Now I'm running canyons. Like, just talk a little bit about that and what that juggling project is like.
It is. It's a lot. Like, I think one thing that's really great is that I work for myself. And so, because we talked about like I'm training for ultras. I'm a low mileage runner. I wish I had my book. I can't find it, but it's Relentless Forward Progress. I think it's I bought this training book. So I do low mileage training. And so I don't generally run more than 50 miles a week. And that helps me to manage my time. Um, because ultra training is a lot. And I was never going to do a 100 miler because I was like, there's no way I can knock out 60-mile weeks. And it's not just because like I own my own business and I'm self-employed, but I have 4 kids and 2 of them are away in college. But that doesn't mean that they're out. They are keep me very busy as well. And then one of them alone does so much sports that I'm kind of glad that my other kids do less traditional sports. And so there is a lot of juggling. Like Saturday long runs happen on Friday a lot, just because of that lifestyle. So we talked about Cocodona. We've been talking about it a little bit. That's happening right now. Both of us are not there. The reason I'm not there crewing and pacing this year is because my daughter made it to swim sectionals. And she got for her backstroke varsity, she qualified for varsity swim as a sophomore. And so that's why I'm here instead of out there. So that's a big factor, I think, besides just being an ultra runner and owning my own business, it's balancing life. Like if I make dinner for my family twice a week, I feel like I'm a super. Um, and I think, do you know Troy from the Mid Packer podcast?
Yes.
Okay. We did a podcast a few years ago and he has a little one. Troy and I went to high school together.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Small
So,
world.
and that, yeah, and we did not think that we would become ultra runners. He was a soccer player as an artsy fartsy kid, but anyways, comes full circle. But I was talking to him a little bit about parenting, and I said neglectful parenting and fostering independence looks like almost exactly the same. One just sounds better. So, anyways, my youngest is 13, but if he hasn't eaten it, it's his own fault because he knows how to cook. He knows how to do laundry. And part of it is just because I've we're just trying to balance life here. And so that just keeps me busy. So the week leading, and I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, which needs to get diagnosed and medicated. My friend just told me to get this book, which I think is about me. I don't know if you can see it.
Is
Like
the
it's about,
head exploding off the bear there?
so it
It
says how
appears
to
to
be
be.
okay when
Yeah.
nothing is okay. And it's just about it's this. I'm just going to read you real quick because my husband
Yeah.
said that is my life. So I'm just going to explain to you what my weeks look like. You
Yes.
see, my head is filled with tiny, erratic squirrels that occasionally work well, but are often on strike, creating periods of anxiety, creative blocks, self-doubt, or sadness. Then the squirrels randomly start working again, but this time on super speed, as if they found a tiny stash of squirrel cocaine, making it almost impossible to think past the intrusive anxiety and nervous energy and lack of focus and insistent thoughts that suggest I really must clean out the boxes in my attic, not a euphemism, before doing the work that I need to be doing, especially the work that brings me joy and fulfillment and relief, the work that my heart does. So we've been in manic mode, getting ready for canyons, getting ready for this big project that I'm doing with a brand for this summer. Getting ready for my daughter's sports. And instead of just working canyons, we worked a road race that weekend as well. And this week I can get to a commission and a project with Air Viper Rides. But yesterday I was like, I should defrost my freezer and reorganize all my running things. And everything's going to get done. But that's what my life looks like, a squirrel on cocaine.
Yeah.
So,
My brain is like, where do squirrels get cocaine from? Oh, wait. I've seen so many things that people drop. Yep. Squirrel cocaine. It's a thing.
yeah. So that's how it works. So it's high functioning ADHD. But And then sometimes my house is just a disaster, and then it's, like, super clean, but the commission that I'm supposed to be doing hasn't even been started. But it'll get done. We'll get it all
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And I don't shower enough,
Eh,
so
debatable. Debatable. Like,
hygiene's
it,
very
again,
low on the
we
bucket
go
list.
back to the road runner, trail runner thing, the number of people that yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Well, with how your brain works, though, there's also like the superpower aspects of it, of pattern recognition, and these 17 different things are floating around, but also you can make those connections, and then you're at like, hey, now I got this commission over here. I should call Troy. I should connect with Abigail. Oh yeah, and the dishwasher's overflowing or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like there are benefits to it, and I will argue that trail running is one of them, because being out, you just did canyons, right? I would
Yes.
imagine that you talked with somebody about something completely random at some point on the course, maybe when it was starting to get dark. And my brain works kind of like, hey, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a guy. But then I would imagine you made a difference in somebody's race just being out there and talking with them in the dark, some point after mile 30, probably, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking back, and if you know the canyons course, or if you know the area, after you leave Rucky Chucky, there is this hill up to Driver's Flat. It is runnable. I usually play running games on that hill with myself, where I'm like, I'm gonna run for a minute and then walk for a minute and run. And that was my plan. But usually I'm like 15 miles into a run when I hit there, not 45. And there was no running. And I'm just like struggling, like thinking about this chicken strip my crew chief is gonna bring me, and like dry heaving. And this man comes up to me, like double fisting his trekking poles, like plowing up this hill. And we start talking, and I realize, like, I don't look at people, and I have some face blindness, but he's a friend from my running group. And I don't even know, we're just reassuring each other we're going to make the cutoff, and we're going to finish in less than 20 hours. And we're chatting for a little while, and then like I let him go cuz I need to start dry heaving off the side of the road, and he's just like, you do your thing. And it's the most casual thing ever. And the next day I'm looking back and I'm like, that was my favorite part of the run. And it wasn't the prettiest part of the trail, but it was those moments sharing with a trail friend, like suffering. And we didn't even talk about anything earth shattering. We didn't solve any world's problems or whatever, but we connected. And that, like a race is the most relaxing thing I do. And lots of times, like, people are like, we're going to solve all the world's problems, or we're going to have deep thoughts, or like very existential, spiritual moments. And I'm like, I don't even know. It's just where I can let everything go. Like, I do notice beautiful things. Like, I'm like, this trail looks like a curated botanical garden. Like, Mother Nature, God is good, like things like that. But really, like, and I think sharing those moments, like, even though they're not like profound or anything, are really profound in their own way. So I don't know if my friend feels the same way about our moment going up to Rucky Chucky. I mean, up to Driver's Flat, but I'm like, that was the highlight of my of my race. And it's okay if he had a different highlight. Like, that's a weird highlight.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's those little moments that stick with you and remember from whatever race or what person or what thing, like that chicken strip here or the popsicle at mile whatever somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
it's rarely what you think it's going to be, of like, actually, well, maybe it is crossing the finish line or high fiving
Yeah.
someone. It's like, hey, I remember this dude handed me a popsicle at mile 37. I was like, it was the greatest thing ever.
It's
And
the
it was like
greatest thing
a
ever.
rocket pop. I don't even know who the dude was.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I hope I gave this man some sweaty salt tabs, like salt stick ones that are flavorful. They were even more flavorful because I sweat on them. And maybe that was, I think it was at like Skyline to the Sea out in Big Sur area. Maybe hopefully that was his favorite moment. I don't know. I'm just thinking of like, I was like, do you want these sweaty salt sticks? He's like, yeah. It's like, we are gross.
but at the same time, you never know what's going to make that different, and it's not, it's like at Javelina, like, hey, Chris Thornley, Squirrels Nut Butter, Chris and Ben are out there, and they're like, yeah, we got Otter Pops right here. Just go hand out some Otter Pops. And you see people's faces light up when you hit mile
It's
40 or 60 or 80. It's those little things that make a difference.
it will change their lives. My husband always takes candy with him, and it's this old bag of candy that he's had in his pack forever. And I think a lot of ultra runners have done rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon. Have you done that before?
I have not. It was on the list for the fall or this past fall. So I have to, until when the new trail's rebuilt, I will be doing that.
Yeah,
But
there is a
we'll see.
pause right now. Like we can't do that. But he has saved many people with his bag of stale candy. It'll be like Sour Patch Kids and like totally normal stuff. And then is it Good and Plenty? It's those licorice candies that
Mm,
are
yeah.
super gross. Anyways, like there's like a handful of people that love them. Like they're mostly old grandpas and my husband. And then weirdos. So I always warn people like there's a licorice candy in there. And like more people like them than I know would, but I'm sure that that was a moment for so many people to have a stranger give them an old bag of candy on the trail. So
That,
brings you
yeah.
life.
I will add that is one place I always carry extra water. Well, if I'm in my run vest, I don't, but I've hiked a lot there and we've usually carried extra water, not for us, but because so many people underestimate it. They're like, I have a whole pack full of stuff because somebody's going to need it. And invariably, somebody needs it.
Yeah. And that was me last time we were out there just like doing I think we did Ribbon Falls. And my husband used all of his water, but as soon as I knew I had enough, I was like, yeah. But then you're literally saving people's lives, like more than just a a Sour Patch Kid. But like, yeah, that's hard for me to do that actually. Like not to give it's not hard for me to help people, but it's hard for me to see people out there brazenly underestimating the Grand Canyon when there's signs everywhere. But anyways, I
Yeah.
have a whole rant for that. Maybe that's not a good thing to talk
No, it's a
about.
good. No, I think it's a good thing because I have had the same thing, and I mean the reason I got my wilderness first responder way back when is because I kept encountering unprepared people on the trail in strange situations. I mean, far back country Canyonlands, the Needles part of Canyonlands, and it was a family walk by, and I just happened to catch it like, oh, someone's walking like that, and there was a group of four of us and my brain caught the like, hey, there's blood dripping down there. And I stopped the left. I was like, is everything okay? And they're like, well, actually, no. And it ended up being a huge gash here, no map, no water, no pack. You're 6 miles into the back in Canyonlands, which is remote with no service, anyways.
Yeah.
So, hey, I have all the stuff. I did first aid without gloves. And then whenever we finished, we went back to the ranger station, talked to the rangers. I was like, hey, can I just use your sink to wash my hands? Because I didn't have gloves. You're not supposed to do that, but I did it.
Yeah.
Um, they loaded me up with everything. But I was like, hey, I need to get this because for whatever reason, I come across it. So I am very much in the like, I've got stuff, but also there's signs, there's the internet, there's all kinds of stuff. You are still out here at the mile 3 rest station. You're glaring at me right now because I look great, but I've also got 20 pounds of stuff on my back. And yes, I do have calories for you, but please
Yeah.
pay attention. So, yes, I would love
Yeah.
to hear your rant.
It's a hard I mean, and I think here's the thing, like Jeff Browning, I all the time blurs together, but he is very knowledgeable, very experienced, like ultra runner. We know things. I actually had a job before, like when I was single, where I did backcountry wilderness survival, like for therapy, like a program. So I've spent a lot of time under the stars, a lot of like just a lot of experience outdoors, and I know my limitations. And so, but when Jeff Browning has a scary experience in the Grand Canyon, you know that even the best of us, stuff happens. And so it's hard for me. And I don't want to sound like an elitist, but one thing I love about doing rim to rim to rim is we leave at like 3 a.m. and I'm not terribly fast. So I come out when it's dark and all the tourists are off the trail because it's so hard for me to see somebody hiking down with two people in a water bottle, and I'm like, "Are you gonna be okay?" and 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 not to sound like a snob or whatever, but I mean, in the same thing, like we were in Rainier, it was also hard for me to see people throwing organic litter, like thinking, oh, it's totally fine that I'm going to drop this apple on the ground, or like feeding the marmots veggie straws that's not part of their regular diet. And then me hiking out with an olive that I dropped out of my sandwich in my pocket so that the animals wouldn't eat it. Because I just, you just hear stories about a family of fox that the mama fox taught her babies to get food from campsites. And then when the park was closed, that whole family died of foxes. And so it's a struggle, which like this is where like I most of my revenue is from national parks, from wholesaling to national parks. I'm only in one park and I'm in two parks. They didn't buy this year, but I'm trying to get into more parks. And I feel kind of bad because I'm like, I love national parks. Like, I love that those tourists generate so much revenue for me, but they're also some of them are the most frustrating people to me. And I feel kind of like a hypocrite that I'm like, buy all my stuff, but like you make me grumpy because you make bad choices.
Yeah.
So
People being people is a thing. And yeah, it's a hard balance because I mean, parks are everybody's trail running's open to everyone, road running's open to everyone, parks
yeah,
are open to everyone. We encourage everyone, and you get the diversity of people, of cultures, of everything. Like having it's a weird thing of like being fortunate to travel to Japan and go to Nara, and you pay money to get a little cookie thing to hand feed the deer. Okay. It's just a different cultural context than, hey, like where I am, there's a grizzly somewhere in the bush over there. Showed up Friday afternoon. First time in 40 years something's been around here. Well, that's great. Now there's a grizzly around.
yeah.
But just the different context. I was like, don't feed the bears, but also in the 80s and 90s, what do? You go to the dump or Yellowstone or whichever national parks are like throwing garbage out to attract the bears. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a
It
balance.
it's a hard thing because I think the majority of these people aren't intentionally doing wrong. I don't know. But it's hard when there's signs everywhere too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still humans. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's people are people.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't know. I'm like, don't be an elitist, Heidi. Like I anyways, so that's how did we get on this? Let's talk about
Uh,
something more
that's more
exciting,
exciting.
not
Okay. I asked, yeah, I was curious about your planning schedule, but what else is on your calendar for this year? Whether it's races you're doing, races that you are going to be vending at, that we can go out and support you. I know we're recording this. Cocodona started about 6 hours ago. Right now, neither of us are there, but
yeah.
I presume I'll see you at Javelina this year.
So
Maybe Bold Assumption.
Javelina's an annual thing for me. We're originally from Arizona. My dad was military, so that's how I knew Troy. We actually went to high school in Germany together, which is wild. Um, yeah,
Oh,
so
that
we
is
yeah.
crazy. Okay.
So yeah, it's super, super crazy. And then we ran it. I didn't run into him at States a few years ago, but he was there crewing somebody, and our friend Raquel, who also went to high school with us in Germany, was there crewing a friend. And she's like, "Did you know Troy is here?" And anyways, it's just super wild. But my parents are both from Arizona. I went to NAU, and I met my husband there. He's long time from there. So we have connections there. My parents retired in Arizona. So we're always at Black Canyon in Javelina. I'll be vending there and running, and I'll have some new stuff as well. So those are always on there. New things for the schedule too are just a few years ago, I started doing Broken Arrow up at Palisades in Tahoe. These are nice because they're fairly local to me. I actually get a place up in Tahoe when I'm there because it's not local enough for me to drive back and forth to. But I'll be at Broken Arrow and TrailCon. And I'll be vending those. And I haven't run Broken Arrow yet. And I haven't done anything for the race specifically, but it's a good place to make connections as well and to network. And I think people are pretty happy to see me there as well. It was kind of cool because my son's English teacher is actually an ultra runner who had done states. And she's like, she actually had stuff of mine that she had bought at Broken Arrow. Had no idea, like, because I forget people's, I run into a lot of people as well, but I really think I have face blindness, but it's kind of cool. And then I actually ran into a guy when we were dropping my son off at school in Idaho who had a Broken Arrow hat on. Bryn Merrill's the artist who does that stuff. And she's actually from Arizona, from Prescott, and lives up in Truckee. Um, but it'll be fun to be out there. And I told that guy to look for me, and I will stay up there till the start of states because I will be crewing a friend at states and I sweep at states. So my dad joke is, I hope I don't see anybody at states because then I'll be sweeping you.
Mm,
Um, and I'll be sweeping at the training run too for states. So trying to think of other events. I really want to get up at TrailCon. No, I am at TrailCon, Trail Fest.
Trail
So
Fest.
I'd like to be at Trail Fest at Mammoth. I just need to connect and see if that will be in the works. And I think I'll be at Kodiak as well. It gets really, really hectic and busy with the kids' schedule too. I have a lot of mom guilt leaving my kids on the weekend, but they're teenagers. They probably actually prefer it that way. But
From what I've seen of my friends as kids, yep.
yeah. So I think that that's what's happening as far as where I'm at. I'm starting a project with Viper Rides. I haven't done anything. Actually, I've done a little thing for a mountain bike company or a group here in Auburn. Just something really small for them, not super specific. But Viper Rides reached out, and that's a project that I'm starting to do something for them, which is wild because I'm not a mountain biker, but it'll be fun. And I don't know, like maybe I'll go to one of their events. It just has to see if it works with the schedule. But I think that's what I think. I don't know. That's what I can
That's fun.
remember what I
Yeah.
have going on. We'll see. So, and those are my races: running javelina,
Yeah. Which distance are you
Auburn.
doing at Javelina this year?
I'll do the 100 miler because I hate 100 milers. So, just to see if I really hate them. I don't. I mean, I already have two qualifiers, so I don't need
Yeah.
to qualify.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to finish. I DNF'd the second time I did it. So
Okay. 100 mile or 100K?
100 miler,
100 mile.
100
Okay.
miler. I don't know. You like that's a race where part of me is like I have to do the longest one. I was at Marin Ultra Challenge, and that's one where I'm like, I'm glad I'm not doing the longest one. But it's such a runnable course. I'm really boring, so I like loops. Like, and I'm like Dory and Finding Nemo. It looks new every time I go around it. Like I could probably still get lost, like even though I've done it so many times. So
Yeah. Well, it is fun. It is a big one. I mean, the vibe is high. It is one, if
I
anyone's
know.
thinking about it, like the vibe is high pretty consistently throughout, especially when you hit headquarters.
Well, I think that's the thing, and that's part of why I DNF'd the second time because I was like, they're having more fun out here. Like I just want to stay here with everybody. Um, so here's a story about when I DNF'd though. Like I brought my son with me and I DNF'd after two loops, and I'm like, are you sad that I DNF'd? Like, are you like less proud of me? And he's like, no, like I wish Ron would DNF. Like he's our friend who's like 60, who my son adores. He's like, I'd rather hang out with him. Anyways, but so my son is a little boy and he's like so like loves bathroom humor and everything. And so I DNF and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Porta John. And I go to this Porta John and I'm like in there and the person next to me is having a really hard time, like very loud, and I don't know what end anything's coming out of, and it's very ultra, like they're going to be fine. But I'm like, "Oh my gosh, my I think he was like 10 or 11 would love it if he could hear the drama going on in this porta john. I wish he were here." And I was like, so I like finish up and I'm like, Ben, you will never believe what was the I don't know what was going on, but that person was having a very ultra experience. They'll be fine, but I don't know what end it was coming out of. And, anyways, he starts laughing. Apparently, all day when people would go into that porta john, he would go into it next and like make these violent noises. So he was just totally like hamming it up, think like being hilarious, like farting, like vomit sounds. He was pounding on it. I don't know, but like he had a blast. Like, they say it's an R-rated race, but, like, it is so family oriented. Like, you're gonna have a kid putting on a bathroom show for you. Um, my mom came out when I DNF'd, and I was like, "Oh, she's probably like, am I disappointing her?" She doesn't care. I forget who it is, who he wears that pink thong. What's his
Oh,
name?
Pink Thong Man. I know exactly who you mean. Yeah, it's been the same guy the past couple years.
Yeah.
Jake Jackson? Did he wear one?
Oh, was it? Well, he was like, well, I wish my mom could see Jake. No,
Yeah,
it's a
but
guy,
I
he's a
know
little
Pink
bit
Thong
older.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a pink thong, and I zoomed. It's not very supportive. We all zoomed in on the picture. It doesn't look supportive.
I didn't zoom in.
Anyways, well, I zoomed in, like, just for his safety. Anyways, all the women zoomed in. All the curious men zoomed in. Anyways, but maybe I shouldn't admit that. Anyways, so
I don't care.
my mom showed up right when he was coming through headquarters, and it was like the highlight probably of the last 5 years of her life. Like, she was just like, she didn't care that I DNF'd. And when I got home, she's like, "So do you have pictures of that guy? Like, I got to show my friends what you do." Like, and it had nothing to do with me. And I'm sure, like, I sent her any screenshots I could find on Instagram, and she sent them to all of her friends. And I think, like, maybe one of my sisters, like, who's less prude. I don't know. But it was like, I think it was like the best thing. And then my mom's so cute. She's like 70 years old and uses a little walker and stuff. And she's, whenever we race, like, we end up bringing a whole gaggle of ultra runners to the house. And she's like up in the morning and she's like, "Does anybody need any butt wipes for their bag? And I got these tiny sodas." And then she'll track everybody like all day long on TV. And I remember my friend Shane finished and I DNF'd, and she was like, "Do you know that Shane ran all through the night?" And I was like, "Yeah, mom, that's how it works. That's what I did last year. Remember when I finished last year and I ran through all through the night?" And I think that she just remembered everything that Shane did, because Shane has like really nice muscles and tattoos and is more attractive than me. I don't know. But I was like, I think you just like Shane more. Like, I ran through the night twice before, mom. Like, remember? And my mom, sweetest lady, like, when I did run through the night and she doesn't remember, like, I'm in bed in my underwear and she's like nursing the blisters on my feet. Like,
Aw,
she's a nice ultra mom. She will never do that ever. And she won't come to my races. She doesn't need to. I mean, she might get a gift of a man in a thong, but she will track you and she will get you all the butt wipes you need and
perfect.
make steak for you the day after.
Ooh, that sounds really good. I could go for a
So,
steak right now.
yeah, in fact, our friends that are running Cocodona, they make plans with my parents without even telling me. Like, she's like, "Just so you know, we're staying at your mom's house when we go to the training run. Just so you know." And she's like, "Your mom called me already to find out like when we're gonna be there." And I love it. Like, I love, like,
It is a small world.
yeah.
It's big, but
And
it's very small once you know somebody. And
yeah. And I love that she does that for them. Like, I mean, you don't even have to, does that make sense? You don't have to be an ultra runner to be a part of the community. Like, it's just so, there's so many people that volunteer that don't even run ultras.
yeah, people that, or it's a couple and one does, and one is maybe not a runner or not wanting to be or not yet an ultra runner, but they're still out there, or you're the biker, she's the runner, and that like
Yeah.
there are so many people. Or I mean, I've been at Moab with the same mom and can't remember her name, can't remember the daughter's name, could see both of their faces, but I was like, "Oh, you were at registration at this race and at that race and at that race." Right, because your daughter's there and she's running, and that's the boyfriend. I remember this now. Couldn't tell you the name,
Yeah.
but you see that.
It's It's so fun to see the same people. My friend Cassie, she's my kids just recently found out she's not related to us, but she grew up with my husband and will come and visit with us. She recently had weight loss surgery. Like, so proud of her. She lost an entire person. And she's like, I'm still the same person. It's kind of a struggle mentally and emotionally. Like, and she's like, I'm the same person, but I'm like, you're not. Like, we loved her even when we didn't do active stuff. Like, she's one of our favorite people in the world, but now we can hike with her and now we can paddleboard and she's not worried. Like, will this fit? Will this hold me or anything?
Mhm.
She cruises us every year at Black Canyon and she loves it and she is amazing. And I wish that if we lived in Arizona, we'd be hauling her out and she would be over like volunteering with Aravaipa all the time. But and she just had double knee replacement surgery. And I said, when she's ready, we're going to do a 10K together. And I think that that's one thing where she got to experience it and see the support of everything. And I mean, you don't have to be an ultra runner. I don't think there's any health benefits of it, but just you can be a part of the community. And Cassie sees that and she's just like, everybody loves her and she's so good at crewing and she knows Black Canyon well and knows what we need and just, just amazing. And she's come so far in her life as well. But I think to be around those ultra runners too, she's just like, I want a taste of this as well. Like, I'm going to do a race. And what's great about ultras is we're mostly hiking. So it's, well, at least my back of the packers are. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the Aravaipa races have generous cutoffs, and I know there's what's her name? Lisa something. The running university, that's the whole thing is women generally over age 40 that just want to do it, and it's generous cutoff. So as long as you're moving and don't really stop, you can walk
yeah,
the whole thing. But you also get the benefit of, hey, you said Santan was your first, or no, Black, I forget which race
Canyon.
it, Black
No,
Canyon.
it was, McDowell Mountain Frenzy.
McDowell, frenzy. Right, but they're like, you could go and do the 50 mile. I could do the 50K. Cassie could do the 9K or 12K. I know there's multiple distances. Like, y'all just hang out here. Someone's in the beer tent, people at the finish line. Like, it's open to so many people and so many diverse abilities and body
Yeah,
type and everything. Hey,
yeah,
show up, finish. I ran with people at the back of the pack. I've tried and unsuccessfully tried to be at the front of the pack, but I tried.
yeah.
um yeah, it's there, it's people. Come out and volunteer and or participate and go. So
Is so much giving. Yeah.
yeah, so was Cassie at Black Canyon when Mike and I saw you at Bumblebee?
The second time I did Black Canyon was COVID year and we couldn't have people at Bumblebee. And so I've told my crew, I don't really need you till
This
what's that halfway?
Deep Canyon now.
Deep
It used
Canyon.
to be Black Canyon City was the bigger. When I ran it was Black Canyon City, but now it's
Yeah. And that's why I keep mistaking as Black Canyon. So she's always at Deep Canyon and then at Table Mesa.
Table Mesa.
Table
Yeah,
Mesa?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's always there. And we always vend the day before and my husband breaks down and everything, so we kind of try to make it easy and I'm like, sleep in. My husband works remotely and so lots of times he'll have work to do and I'm like, just get to us. I only need you at that halfway point and hopefully you don't have to even pace me. My husband's an ultra runner as well. He's run 100 miler, but he doesn't like need it as much as I do. Like I'm always chasing the next distance or whatever. And so he's always happy to pace for me. Um and so I kind of they just get to hang out and do things and then see me twice.
Yeah, yeah. Ride the bus to the finish line and cheer for you and do all the
Yeah.
fun things.
Yeah, it's really great. And I think Cassie, she likes to come to Javelina. I think she's living her best life. Like she goes on cruises a lot and works for the airline. So I think for Javelina, she was on a cruise. I mean, she probably would have rather been at Javelina, but she had to go on that stupid cruise.
But this year she can plan it. It's on Halloween. It's always a party. Jubilee does an amazing job. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jubilee. You'll be there. I will be there.
I'll
Lots of
be there.
people will be there.
And did you see my amazing costume this
I
last year?
don't Javelina ends up being a blur because of all of the things, so I know
Okay.
I saw it, and I do not remember it whatsoever. I remember your Black Canyon outfit, but I think that's because I was there and I talked to you extensively at Bumblebee.
And then I left all that stuff there and forgot to pick up my drop bag after all that. Okay, so my husband was mortified. I tried to get him to be matching with me, and he wouldn't. And then he's like, he was manning my booth, and I was only dressed up on Saturday, but he'd be like, "Oh, this is my wife. She's the artist, and she's a pervert." But it's like really important to be a little bit of a pervert. So I had a Kim Kardashian inspired merkin. Do you know what a merkin is?
Isn't that like the full bodysuit thing?
No, it's a
No.
pubic wig. Did you see those? Like she
Were
was,
you the one on stage at the costume contest? Was that
yes, I
you?
won a
No, that was
major
you. Okay, then it
award.
was your costume. Yes, because I
I
remember standing there and I was like, "What? The Pink Pony Club's in pasties and thongs right now."
And then I
I know
had
who the
on,
horse was, and the horse is out there drinking, and Kyla was up there, and I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna do my thing." And yeah, I didn't
and
realize
I
that was
had
you.
this
I know the
clown,
costume.
a clown pubic wig and flesh colored compression shorts. I was like well, except for Katra, like I was the oldest and most sober person up there, me and Katra.
Mhm.
But like, anyways, but like, I'm like, I'm not really fun as Katra is, but like this costume was inspired on a trail run and I made it myself and it was a clown costume, but it was beautiful. And my husband's like, you just sold your body for a pair of shoes. Cause I won some Hokas for that major
Oh,
award. Yeah.
congratulations!
No. He's like, anyways, it was great. And I'll never be able to top that again. And it was only relevant this year because of Kim Kardashian's gross pubic wig underwear that she put out.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
yeah. It's
So
Javelina, and
yeah, I mean, it's expected. I was like we were walking from the parking lot, and he's like, "You're seriously walking from the parking lot?" And I wasn't naked. Like I had on flesh-colored compression shorts and a flesh-colored bra, and I was like, "It's javelina. Like nobody cares that I'm wearing like this thong clown pubic wig." And it's
no,
like it's expected.
the first year I was there, it was a woman. Don't remember, never got her name, never got anything. And on the first loop where you make your one and only left-hand turn and go to the extra miles, just past Rattlesnake Ranch, I was sitting in front of there was a barricade that we put out there, and my job was to sit there and direct. And I looked up and I was like, is she naked? What is she wearing? It was, she had flesh colored tights on and a Borat mankini.
Oh yeah.
And I only saw her the one time, don't remember seeing her again, don't know a name, didn't get a bib number. I don't know if she finished or didn't finish. I was like, that does not look comfortable. And she
No,
said it wasn't. And that was it. And I was
that
like,
was it.
I'm
Yeah.
not going into any more detail, but I was like, that doesn't look like it's super comfortable.
Well, and that's the thing, like, because our friends didn't know I had that on. And so when they ran through their loop the first time, I ran with them and they loved it. And people were like, "Are you gonna pace in that?" And they were compression shorts, but I don't run in compression shorts. I wear in the shortest but loose, like rabbit running shorts I can find. And and then it had a thong. I was like flossing in my crack. And I was like, no, I'm not running in this. I don't know how that guy does 100 miles in that pink or how I don't even know how many laps Jake Johnson did in his thong a few years
I
ago.
th
Like, I don't
I
know if he did.
think it was the 100K. I don't think it was the 100 mile, but I would have to go look at, like, I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing anybody in that little clothing after it was dark or
Yeah.
after, say, like 10 p. And I've been at the finish line extensively in the dark, middle of the night doing stuff, and I don't remember it.
Yeah. And I don't think I could. Like, it was enough for me to just run from our tent to the timing pad with our friend, you know? And so I was like I think Katra always wears her huge get up the whole race with her props and everything, but I'll be really boring next year.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was like one and done because
Okay.
there's no way to top that. I don't know. Like,
There could be. I mean, see what's on the bingo card. It's only May the 4th.
I
May the
know.
4th
Well,
be
and
with you.
and one year I had like a whole bunch of costume changes, and my husband is such a good sport. But I don't know if you've noticed, like at regular costume stores, they always have like slutty costumes for the women, but not for the men. And it's really not fair. And so, like, our goal, and my husband just puts up with me, is that he wears something slutty and I wear something frumpy. So
That's fun.
yeah, so he needed to be a slutty cop, and they didn't have like, he got the cop shirt and stuff at the Spirit of Halloween store, but I was like, "You need really short shorts."
Like
And so
Super
he
Trooper
owned
style?
yeah, and he owns some. I wish that he had some ostrich skin boots, like from the Boot Scootin'. What is
Boots
I
Scootin' Boogie?
anyways, yeah, like
Brooks and
I
Dunn?
wish he had
Okay.
those, but he didn't. So he just had his really short rabbit shorts and his like his cop costume and a mustache. And I found a jumpsuit that looked like a real prisoner's jumpsuit, like in the kids section, because the women's one was like a skin tight one, but I wanted it to be frumpy and him slutty. And then I was like, well, you need another change. Like, you need to be a slutty sailor. And they only had slutty sailor women costumes. And so I found one that was like a little kid's one, frumpy or slutty at all. And then I got him the tiniest little shorts and like a tight little shirt. Anyways, so I got it like on Amazon or something. And then the packaging shows all the different offerings of the costumes that this company supplies. And it's just, I think it's costumes for male strippers or what you would wear at beta breakers, because everything else was straps and leather. And his slutty sailor costume was the most coverage of anything. Anyways, they need more slutty costumes for men that aren't just for
I
strippers, like
I
for
am
regular men.
making a note of this because, yeah, I mean, I go back to being 18 plus and whatever the noun is, put slutty in front of it. And that's a women's costume for Halloween. And I've probably seen it. And
Yeah.
then guys stuff, no. And I mean, I have so many ideas for my javelina costume. I have an open browser tab right now with something I'm looking at.
There needs
It's
to be more quality, like more slutty costumes for men and like compliant husbands who will dress like a slut. So
yeah, yeah.
while their wife,
Maybe that's the theme of this year's javelina. Should I tag
yeah,
javelina in this?
yeah. And then, anyways, but we have a whole bag. So I think we did a few changes
Mm,
and then never nudes. Do you ever watch Arrested Development?
missed
It's
out.
like,
I
it's
know
like
it's a
one of those
thing.
cult classics. So, anyways, it's one of those if you know, you know.
Mm,
So,
I don't know.
anyways.
No say.
Look, you can look it up. It's not as important as like my thong wig or
Your thong wig. Well, I mean, the browser tab I have open, I am not this whatever. Screw it. So did you know that there's a company, the home of the tan through and the best in men's underwear? So apparently these are a variety of underpants and swim shorts of various lengths and discrepancies. And I don't know the difference in thongs, but there's like a T and there's like a slightly wider one. And you can all these
oh,
things for guys, but they're apparently tan through. So if you need to have your full body tan going on, you buy these. And
this
I'm
is important.
intrigued. And the clearance pair is 19 bucks. I just got to actually measure myself so I get the correct size. But these are like
Well,
perfect for javelina.
now I'm like, wait, what did I just create? Like now all the men are going to be slutty.
Or it goes the other way and everyone dresses as a beekeeper. Like
Yeah.
someone should do. Oh, I should I bet money that someone should do it in like one of those British guard outfits with like the giant black hat
Oh,
on
the
and carrying.
beef
I
keeper. What
can't
are
think of what they're called.
is
The Royal Guard, is that it?
yeah, well they have like it's called like a beekeeper, beef keep. I know what it is. Like I used to cuz we were military, lived in the UK, and so we saw that. Um I'm gonna pull up a picture of my fabulous costume. But like, what else was there? Oh, I do have to say, like, we went around taking pictures, and I had Jesse Ellis take my picture because
Mm,
apparently he
Jesse's great.
takes better pictures than I do.
Oh,
Anyways, he had really like specific instructions to make me look taller. So there was a certain angle he had to take. But everybody that I took pictures with, it was a full body shot except for with Arlen because he's so wholesome. So it had to be from the waist up. But my friend's like, Arlen knows what javelina is. He is not judging you for being trashy. But let me see if I can pull up the but then I dressed my daughter as Cocaine Bear, so we have that costume available for nighttime. I'm like pulling through all of our Halloween stuff. So
well, that's okay.
um
And Jesse
I'm
didn't
gonna
have a costume on because I hitchhiked with Jesse from Rattlesnake back to the start. I do not remember him wearing a costume. Jesse, if you're out there, were you wearing a costume at Javelina?
he needs my maybe he can
He was dressed
always
as a
hit me up.
photographer. That's what he was
Yeah.
doing.
Because
Dressed as a
sometimes
photographer.
he'll do a wig or whatever. He probably doesn't want to hit me up. He was on the bag. I think he was equally mortified that he knew me with my husband. I think he reluctantly took pictures of me. So here's I don't know if you can see that. Like here's my costume.
If you move it a little bit more to your left. Yes. Oh yeah. 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 I
Remember
didn't know
that?
that was you. I can see that. Yeah. But I did not know
Isn't
that was you because I saw the
I, s-
costume all over.
I was super famous. I was super famous that day.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the guy in the left, which is this is I love this story, super small world. We were doing
Yeah.
rim to rim to rim in the Grand Canyon and we get to the North Rim and we meet these ultra runners from like somewhere in the south. I forget where he lives, Tennessee maybe. And then I run into him at Black Canyon and then he did States last year and I run into Javelina. So that's what I love about our world because I see a lot of Arizona, California, Bay Area people, but then you like get like this random ultra runner you run into at the top of the Grand Canyon and then you see him at Black Canyon and then he's running States and then you're just like I love our small world and how fortunate he was to know me so he could get this picture. That's a
Yeah.
treasure. That
It,
is a treasure.
you could charge money. You can send signed copies to people, and
Yeah,
you can have a photo booth at Javelina. Like, get your
I
photo
know.
with whoever you are here. Because I mean,
Well, I think
there's
I
the bib photos, but it's not quite the same as like here's the costume photo booth.
yeah. Well, it was fun though because people who knew what it was did stop me to take pictures. They're like, "Can
Mm,
I get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Obviously."
yeah, man, I
And
didn't.
I was concerned I wouldn't be the only one with that amazing costume because I think I was like, everybody's going to have this costume, but I think I might have been the only one.
Yeah, you were the only one. There was, I mean, the Pink Pony Club was a group, but they were
Yeah,
the only pink pony. It was interesting of how like there wasn't really similarities between people.
yeah. And that one was very relevant for this year too, because that's such a great song, great message. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Anyways, yeah. Well, Heidi, we're close on time. How can people follow you, support you, keep track of what you're up to? What are all
um,
those things?
okay, so I'm on Instagram. I don't know if you like post links or whatever. I could
Yeah,
probably give you some links.
yeah.
So I'm on Instagram. It's simple. It's Heidi Garner Studio. I think there's like underscores, Heidi underscore Garner underscore studio. And then I'm also my website is HeidiGarnerStudio.com. It'll prompt you to sign up for a newsletter that I rarely send out. I need to do better about that to announce new products because there's lots of stuff I have that people are like, I didn't know you had that. But there'll always be discount codes in those newsletters. And then I forgot to do this, but I said I'm going to do a special discount code for your podcast as well.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Thank you.
so I just have to generate it. I
Okay.
don't know, like anyways, we'll just
We'll
do you
chat
do
after.
show notes or
Yes,
whatever?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So anybody who's out there, these links will be in the show notes, and you will also see it on Instagram. I will make a little graphic and then tag everything Heidi Gardner Studio, Instagram, newsletter, anything else you're on, timestamps, all that fun stuff. It's a fun editing process.
Okay. Yeah, that's always all that behind the scene work is so I don't know,
It's a lot.
necessary.
That, this
Necessary evil.
this is the fun part, and then there's the hours and hours of.
I know well, it's the same with me. The fun part is painting pictures, which I don't think I've painted in like a month, and I get to do that hopefully today. And then it's a lot of emailing and accounting and I don't know. And
And so,
I'm a one girl show, so
yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're excited to see what Javelina and fingers crossed, I don't know, Broken Arrow, Mammoth, all the other fun stuff. Let's see
will
what the
you
year brings.
which ones are you gonna be at? Are you gonna be at
As of May the 4th be with you, Javelina, but other things are in play. So I would love to be at more. That's the only one as of today I know for sure.
okay,
And
so
then
we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, we'll
All
see.
right.
But yeah, it's
October's so
on.
far away.
October's far away. There's a list. It's just playing life Tetris with the list. And
Yeah.
yeah. But I have a feeling it'll be
It's
earlier.
hard for everybody, even if you didn't decide to have 4 kids, like, I'm
Yeah.
like so,
Yeah.
lots
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you
Was
very much.
You're welcome.